Hey there YouTube, Wrestling Optimus here, back with my action figure review of WWE Elimination Chamber 2023 from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Sorry this is going out so late, but I was working the day job all weekend. Anyway, let's face it, this was a one-match show, but I'm gonna dive into everything else that happened as well. So for a recap of this emotionally charged premium live event, let's take it over to the action figures. The show began with the Women's Elimination Chamber match. Liv Morgan and Canadian favorite Natalya start out at numbers 1 and 2. Raquel Rodriguez enters at number 3, followed by Nikki Cross at number 4. She does an impressive crossbody off the pod onto everyone. Carmella is supposed to enter at number 5, but keeps hiding in pods. So eventually Raquel slams Nikki through Carmella's pod and pins her for the first elimination. Then Asuka enters at number 6. Liv gets put in 2 simultaneous submission holds by Natty and Asuka and passes out to be eliminated. Then Carmella hits Natalya with a super kick and makes the pin to eliminate her. Carmella and Asuka team up to hit Raquel with multiple strikes, then do a combination pin to eliminate her as well. Finally, Asuka locks in her new Rings of Saturn style submission to eliminate Carmella. She'll be taking on Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania. Next up is Bobby Lashley vs. Brock Lesnar. It's a hoss fight with multiple F5s and spears, but when Lashley gets Brock in the Hurt Lock, Lesnar kicks him in the balls and gets DQ'd. What a lame finish. Lesnar tries to save the angle by hitting both the referee and Lashley with F5s, then puts Bobby through the commentary desk, but this was definitely still the low point of the night. In mixed tag team action, Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley with Dominic Mysterio take on Edge and Beth Phoenix. There's predictably lots of interference by Dom, including when he tosses Rhea some brass knuckles, but Edge manages to kick out. Beth hits Rhea with a glam slam on the floor, and Edge hits Finn with an execution in the ring. Then Edge takes out Dom and spears Finn before both he and Beth hit the Shatter Machine for the win. Yes, you heard me correctly, the Shatter Machine. In fact, there are more than a couple of nods to Edge's real-life friends FTR in this match. And with rumors of Edge's contract being up soon, could we see Edge and Christian vs. Dax and Cash soon? Meanwhile, in the Men's Elimination Chamber match, the United States title was on the line for the first time ever. Seth Rollins and Johnny Gargano started things off at numbers 1 and 2 respectively. Current champion Austin Theory enters at number 3, and surprisingly, commentary references not only his time being mentored by Seth Rollins, but also his time being mentored by Johnny Gargano in NXT. However, his attempts to team up with his former mentors backfire, and they wind up teaming up on him instead. Damian Priest enters at number 4, followed by Bronson Reed at number 5, who does a double Samoan drop on Seth and Gargano. Finally, Montez Ford enters at number 6 and immediately steals the show by scaling the chamber walls and dropping on top of everyone. The entire field hits their finishers on Bronson Reed, and Montez gets the pin to secure the first elimination. Damian Priest hits a Razor's Edge on Johnny Gargano to eliminate him, then Montez Ford hits a Blockbuster on Priest to eliminate him. Rollins hits Montez with a stomp to the outside, but Theory steals the pin to eliminate him. However, Ford appears to be knocked out and needs medical in order to exit the cage. But this is all just an elaborate work to allow Logan Paul to rush in and hit a picture-perfect buckshot lariat and stomp on Rollins and give Theory the win. And now the main event that we have all been waiting for. The entrances, the introductions, and the crowd reactions were absolutely ridiculous. And then when the bell rang, the stare down actually lasted longer than the Bobby Lashley-Brock Lesnar match. When they finally do lock up, Roman beats up Sammy in front of his wife at ringside, reminiscent of when Mick Foley's wife had to watch him get beat up. But don't worry, because during his comeback, Sammy plants a huge kiss on her. The hometown hero then hits a Superman punch and a Helluva kick on Roman, but the Tribal Chief somehow manages to kick out at 2.999. He also manages to kick out of the Blue Thunder Bomb. Nobody kicks out of the Blue Thunder Bomb. Eventually, the ref takes a vicious bump, and Sammy hits another haluva kick for a visual pinfall. Jimmy Uso runs out and hits a super kick and a splash on Sammy, then pulls Roman on top of him. A new ref arrives to do the count, but this time it's Zayn's turn to make a miracle kick out. Sammy hits Jimmy with a haluva kick only to turn around and get hit by a spear, but once again he kicks out. After the new ref also gets taken out, Paul Heyman hands Roman a chair, but before he can use it, Jey Uso makes the save. In a scene eerily reminiscent of Royal Rumble, Roman hands the chair to Jey and forces him to choose while the crowd chants no. Jey hesitates, even looking like he's going to hit Roman, but Reigns turns around and pie faces him instead. Sammy comes back but accidentally spears Jey, allowing Roman to wear him out with a chair and hit a spear for the win and to retain his undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Jimmy starts to beat up Sammy in the post-match when KO comes out to his own massive Canadian reception. He beats up and stuns both Roman and Jimmy, then powerbombs Jimmy through the commentary desk. Paul Heyman hilariously tries to stop him from hitting Roman with the chair, but after the crowd chants, "You fucked up," KO stuns him as well. As KO walks out, he exchanges glances with Sammy. They're obviously still not on the same page, but he couldn't just stand there and watch his former best friend get beat up in their hometown. This was epic levels of drama. Overall, this was a pretty good show, bolstered by two of the better chamber matches in recent memory, but if you take out the main event, it didn't exactly rise to great status. However, the main event did happen, and that alone raises the profile for the entire rest of the card. It was seriously that good. We're currently in the middle of what could go down as one of the greatest pro wrestling storylines in history. And that's not an exaggeration. And speaking of the main event, I know a lot of people are bummed that Sammy didn't win, and I get it. I've been a massive fan of his ever since I came back to wrestling in 2016. But if I'm being honest with myself, this wasn't the right time in the story for him to beat Roman or win the title. In fact, this was probably the best way WWE could have handled the story. For now. However, they're not out of the proverbial woods just yet. So here's how I'd fantasy book Sammy, Cody, and the Bloodline moving forward. At WrestleMania, have Roman drop the WWE title to Cody and have the Usos drop their tag titles to Sammy and KO after Jey turns on Jimmy. Then at Backlash, have Jey join Sammy and KO in a 6-man match versus Roman, Jimmy, and Solo. Once that feud is over, Sammy can finally be the one to defeat Roman for the Universal title, possibly at SummerSlam. Alright, that'll do it for WWE Elimination Chamber 2023. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. If you liked the video, make sure to do all that normal YouTube stuff. Smash the like button, share with any wrestling or action figure fans you may know, subscribe to the channel, and spread the word. You can also talk to me over on Twitter at WrestlingOptimus, or see all my best figure photography over on Instagram at WrestlingOptimus. If you haven't seen my latest video, you can check that out right here. But until next time, I've been Wrestling Optimus, and I'll catch you later.